How should I start this? Game of the year. No, I will not start it like that. I will never start a video like that. Hey everybody, Game of the Year 2019. We're rounding up the end of the year, so it's our time to look back at everything. And like last year, we did a thing where we have our personal picks here at Gameranx. And for you guys out there, we also have a community poll, so we're going to announce both for every category. You guys voted, I think over like how many? Like 30,000 people voted?
Something like that.
That's crazy, dude. Thank you guys for voting. Can we just, I have nothing else to say. Can we just run the meme that I say every year?
But really though, it has been a good year for video games. It's been quite a year. I know I always say that 2015 has been a crazy year, but it's been a really great year for video games.
Because I say every year I say it, like it's a good year for video games because I'm an uncreative bastard and I have nothing else good to say. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. We have a lot of cool video games to highlight. I think at least there's at least one game out there for everyone this year. So let's go. Okay, all right. Oh boy, how do I look? I'm tired?
Like shit.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, you look fine.
Hi everybody, today we're talking about best multiplayer. It was quite a year for it. I think honestly every year is a good year for a multiplayer game because they make all the money. Anyway, let's roll the nominees.
Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Apex Legends, Mortal Kombat 11, and Mordhau.
So, best multiplayer. The winners are the community pick. You guys chose Modern Warfare, which is interesting because I feel like the multiplayer side of that has been a little divisive, but sure enough, you guys liked it enough to choose it, and it was definitely a solid year for a Call of Duty game if you ask me. But our choice here, we voted collectively for Apex Legends. It's kind of a well-rounded pick, we think, because it kind of scratches all the itches. First of all, it was a nice surprise that came out of nowhere. It's a game that EA didn't screw up. It's Respawn at their best. The shooting mechanics, the sliding, the jumping, the loot, the battle royale-ness is just really satisfying. It kind of like freshened up that genre that was starting to go kind of stale. Also, if you're into like esports and streamers and stuff, it is definitely kicking ass over there. It's got memorable characters, a fun map. It's continuously kind of being kept fresh. And you know, honestly, we just had an absolute blast with it and continue to do so. So that's why we chose Apex Legends.
So as we're nearing the end of 2019, we're also nearing the end of the current console generation, and games really are, in a lot of ways, looking better than ever. Now, granted, some of them look like but a lot of them look great, and here are some examples of the best-looking games of the year.
Death Stranding, Control, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Metro Exodus, and Devil May Cry 5.
All right, and the winner of 2019 is actually the same for both our pick and your pick. It is Death Stranding. Death Stranding really pushed the limits of what the PlayStation 4 hardware could do, and even on older hardware, it still looks fantastic. And it's the best looking game I've seen all year, and you guys seem to agree.
We're here at our favorite mall when we were 5 years old. It's now like almost abandoned. We're going to talk about best mobile games. Now, mobile games always get dunked on, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. They're kind of like a source of good indie games sometimes if you know where to look. So let's see what we nominated this year. Roll it, Falcon.
What the Golf, Grindstone, Outlanders, Card of Darkness, and Bleak Sword.
I still can't believe we're here. They don't even have security. Anyway, the best mobile game winner for both the community pick and our pick is What the Golf. Seems like we're all in agreement. What the Golf is a really fun, creative mobile game that kind of like rethinks things. It uses your phone in a clever way. I think they're putting it on Switch and other platforms later on, but for now it's really cool. It's also something you can play on Apple Arcade, which has been that subscription service that actually has some decent mobile games. So if you do play games on your phone, maybe it's worth taking a look.
Every year there are a ton of great first-person shooters that come out, and 2019 was no different, whether it's surprise hits like Apex Legends or new entries into series like Metro Exodus. Anyway, here are the nominees.
Metro Exodus, Apex Legends, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Borderlands 3.
Alright, it looks like we're all on the same page here. We pick Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and you guys also pick Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It had a very good single-player campaign, probably one of the best I've gotten from a Call of Duty game in a while, and the multiplayer was actually really solid, and I definitely think this game deserves the win. Alright, I'm done. That sounds good? Cool. Get this off me.
This has nothing to do with our next topic, which is action-adventure games. Kind of a weird topic that you can label almost any game an action or an adventure game. But anyway, let's roll the nominees.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Devil May Cry 5, Control, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Resident Evil 2.
So, our choice was Resident Evil 2, the remake. It's really, really good. It's a perfect game to introduce people to Resident Evil if they've never played it before. Grew up with the original Resident Evil 2. It's a perfect recreation. All of us here at Gameranx totally agreed. It's just a kick-ass game where there's action and adventure. You guys, the community, chose Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is also a great game, one of our favorites of the year, so we don't disagree with you. The Metroidvania style, the level design, the Star Wars-ness, all comes together, and it makes good shit. But let's move on over to our next category, because I am starving.
Hey folks, it's Falcon, and the most anticipated game for 2020 is a big category, and I'm pretty darn excited for the nominees. Speaking of which, the nominees are Final Fantasy VII, Halo Infinite, Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk 2077, and Animal Crossing New Horizons. And the winners, as far as our staff choice on this list, it is Doom Eternal, and you, the community, chose Cyberpunk 2077.
We're talking about Best Open World Game next. This is a fun topic, so let's just roll the nominees.
Days Gone, Far Cry New Dawn, The Outer Wilds, Death Stranding, and The Division 2.
The winner for Open World Game, your choice is Death Stranding out there in the community, which is an interesting choice. It's definitely a very different open world game. It's not traditionally open world, but the world is certainly massive, so I can see why you guys would give them credit for rethinking things and making a very different, more story-focused open world game where you gotta walk across the whole damn thing. Why am I so out of breath? But us here at the Gameranx office, we collectively chose a very formulaic, more traditional style open world game, Days Gone. We wanted to give the game some credit because it's not getting enough credit out there because it is really good. Yes, does it have very typical open world trappings that some of us have gotten bored of? Totally. But the actual core gameplay itself, the motorcycle gameplay, fighting the hordes of freakers, and the story actually being pretty damn compelling and interesting, yeah, sure, the game goes on a little bit too long, but we still really liked playing it, and we wanted to throw it a bone here.
We spend so much time talking about stuff like graphics and gameplay, and we often forget that a lot of times, like music, can help make the game. So let's take a look at some examples of that right now.
Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Cadence of Hyrule, and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
And for the winner of Best Music, it's actually unanimous between both our pick and your pick. It's Death Stranding.
Woo! Yeah!
Death Stranding just has this awesome mix of both ambient and atmospheric score and some really cool licensed tracks that just like they kick in at the perfect time. And it's really just like that friend in high school you had who just shows you cool music that you didn't know you wanted. So yeah, shout out to Death Stranding for having such a cool selection of music and an awesome soundtrack.
Next up, we're talking about Best RPG. This is a genre that I feel like has been getting better and better the last couple of years, really a resurgence. We got some surprises this year, so let's just roll the nominees.
The Outer Worlds, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Disco Elysium.
So the winner for Best RPG this year, the community choice, you guys voted for The Outer Worlds. And over here, Tom, what did we vote for?
Did we vote for The Outer Worlds as well?
Yes, good job. We voted for The Outer Worlds as well. So we're all in agreement. It's a very good game. I'm actually surprised it hasn't gotten more Game of the Year talk on other outlets, but it's a good-ass Obsidian RPG, and honestly, I'm always going to vote for that when they're good. This one in particular, of course, we've said it a million times, but it takes some of the best elements of something like New Vegas and brings it to 2019 without sacrificing what the heart of that stuff. It's got good writing. It's got some really lovable characters. It does some really cool like corporate satire type stuff. And we're really excited to see what Obsidian does next with it, if they choose to do something with it other than the DLC they just announced. We'll see, but congrats, Outer Worlds is really good. If you like RPGs, you should go play it. Hey, we're talking about most disappointing game. I think the the subject definitely speaks for itself. Let's roll the nominees.
Anthem, Rage 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Dangerous Driving, and Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
So the community choice for most disappointing game is, you guessed it, Anthem. Of course. What is there to say about Anthem? It ditched its roadmap after much player backlash. Basically wasn't really the game that a lot of folks wanted. No slight on the people that are actually liking it, but most of us weren't really the biggest fans. Now, on our end for most disappointing game, we wanted to think a little outside the box because Anthem, like, we kind of expected it to be bad. For us here at Gameranx, what disappointed us the most was actually Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now, I know some people are going to get mad about that, but we're diehard fans of just the overall franchise here, and Breakpoint just didn't live up to the standards. Even Wildlands, year after year, grew into a better game, and Breakpoint releasing didn't even really meet those heights, let alone the heights of any Tom Clancy Ghost Recon game. Despite good core fundamental shooting and some new additions, like, it just didn't grip us between the story and the loop. It was just a bummer. We're hoping it gets better over time, but for now, it's definitely our biggest disappointment. I think there's like a little rat in here.
There are a shit ton of indie games that released this year, and there are so many good ones, and every year this category gets harder and harder to pick a winner for because they're all just so good. Anyway, here are the nominees.
The Outer Wilds, Katana Zero, My Friend Pedro, Untitled Goose Game, and A Plague Tale: Innocence.
And our pick for best indie game was The Outer Wilds. This game has a huge emphasis on exploration, and there hasn't been a game that got it this right in a very long time. Every world feels super different, super dense, and you just can't wait to see what the next planet is like. And the community choice for best indie game is The Untitled Goose Game. This is not a goose, this is a chicken, but it's the best that we could do. This one was pretty obvious. Honestly, I think running around being a dickhead goose is probably some of the most fun I've had in an indie game this year, so I definitely think that you guys did a good job with this one.
Next, we're talking about best style. We're keeping this category pretty broad this year, to be honest. Art direction, just how a game looks, whether it pleased your eye. So let's just roll the nominees.
The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Control, Katana Zero, and Borderlands 3.
So the winner for best style, the community choice is, I forgot, hang on. Link's Awakening, which, yes, That thing looks damn good. I think the style, the lens effect. What do you call that, Tom? The like depth, is that depth of field? Yeah, the depth of field effect, the color palette, everything about it looks absolutely fantastic. But our choice, the Gameranx choice, we kind of argued about this one for a while, but we went with Control. From an architectural standpoint, from the design of just the atmospheric effects, just the overall look of the game, we really loved it and thought it had the most style of a game this year. Part of the reason why I love doing like our choice and the community choice though is the fact that like you kind of get to see two different avenues or two different approaches to one topic, and I think Control compared with Link's Awakening for both just being great style choices is a good example of that, you know? Put that down, we gotta go. Okay. Next up, we're back here talking about the best narrative category. Now, narrative, for those of you that don't know, is defined by Merriam-Webster as something that is narrated, a story or an account, a way of presenting or understanding a situation or series of events that reflects and promotes a particular point of view or values, as well as just the representation in art of an event or story. So there you go. The nominees for best narrative are right here. Roll them.
Death Stranding, The Outer Worlds, Days Gone, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Metro Exodus.
The winner for Best Narrative, you guys out there chose Death Stranding. You guys are giving a lot of awards to Death Stranding. Holy crap. It's certainly a narrative, that's for sure. Most narrative. I think it gets really, really good at the end, and I assume that's why a lot of you guys probably picked it for that. And we chose here at Gameranx, we voted for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for Best Narrative because we thought it was just a nice, good, condensed Star Wars adventure. It doesn't try and just completely recreate the regular Star Wars. There's so many old licensed Star Wars games that try and give you the greatest hits of showing you every single character or same type of moment. Fallen Order does its own thing. You know, while it's not completely 100% rock solid, the good Star Wars... What's he doing? What are you doing? Are you eating soup? The good Star Wars moments are there. We love the characters that are introduced. We love the crew. We're just happy to have a good Star Wars game again, especially when it's one with a good story that's entertaining and easy to follow. So props to it for that. Hey everybody, we're here for the final award, to give away the last award, the Game of the Year award. We're here on the Tuesday live show set. You can find us here every 4 p.m. EST. But we just wanted to say real quick before we give out this last award, thank you guys all out there for watching. We have like over 5 million subscribers now. It's insane. Never ever thought that was going to happen. So on behalf of me, Falcon, Tom, Andrew, Eric, Daniel, Atul, everybody at Gameranx, thank you for watching. It means the world to us. 2019 was kick-ass. Here's to 2020. I gotta get used
2020 is
to,
the actual year that's gonna happen.
Jesus. All right, let's do it. The nominees for Game of the Year are
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Death Stranding, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Days Gone, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, Borderlands 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Control, and The Outer Worlds.
Is it up? Put it up.
Fallout 76!
I can't believe Fallout 76 won. That's crazy. Anyway, the real winner is, for the community choice, you guys out there voted for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm blown away. First of all, I didn't realize we had that many Star Wars fans out here, like on the channel. I'm happy to see that.
Especially for a game that came out so late in the year.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's getting that, you know, it's definitely top of mind, but I'm a completely huge biased Star Wars fanboy, so yes, I'm very happy about you guys choosing Fallen Order. I think, are we all in agreement? It's definitely, you liked it.
Oh, it's a great game.
Is Andrew awake? Are you awake? But us here at the Gameranx office for Game of the Year, we collectively voted and chose Control. Yay!
Andrew,
We really
okay?
like Control. Wake up, Andrew.
All right, never mind. Keep on.
Control's really good. We think it's honestly Remedy's best work to date. They've kind of taken all of the elements that were good from their previous games, Max Payne, even Quantum Break, Alan Wake, Why Did Those Rhyme? And Control is really like just a great third-person, story-based single-player game
which is kind of like one of our favorite types of games to talk about here on the internet. So shout outs to Control, and shout out to all the games that have been nominated by you guys, by us out there. Hopefully some of you have maybe caught wind of a new video game that you might try. That's honestly like the point of these videos. But that's it, I guess.
I think Andrew's dead.
Andrew is dead. Andrew, wake up.
All right.
Well, good night, everybody. I
Bye.
gotta take this off.
Did you not realize there's another layer underneath?
I'm almost done.
Better be birthed from your hot dog womb.
Ow, that was real. That was real. That hurt. That wasn't for it. That wasn't for it.
Ready for 2020, guys?
I swear to God.
Fuck.